The fog crept heavily through the folds of the mountains as the car shivered along the narrow road. Lena gripped the steering wheel tightly, her eyes fixed on the sheer drop at the roadside. Beside her, her fiancé Marcus held his camera in his lap, intending to film but never pressing the shutter. In the back seat, Elias Brandt, an aging history professor, scribbled in his notebook, murmuring the name of the village over and over. Gravenmire. Almost nothing could be found about it online, save for a few forums repeating the same warning: don't leave without trying their meat. That remote village, barely charted on maps, had become the destination of their weeks-long journey. As the road stretched on, the silence thickened, and all three shared the same unspoken thought. They knew nothing about what awaited them. They reached a stone bridge at the village entrance. Beneath it, a dark stream flowed sluggishly, the water heavy and murky. Lena's knuckles whitened around the wheel as the car trembled crossing it. Marcus said, "Relax, we're almost there." But the reassurance seemed directed at himself more than her. On the other side, the first houses of the village appeared. Tall, gabled stone structures, windows covered with thick curtains, doors with rusted knockers. People moved through the streets, speaking softly, almost inaudibly, and averted their gaze from the newcomers. Lena felt a coldness that had nothing to do with the air, something empty and watching in those glances. Marcus lifted the camera to capture the scene. Through the lens, the absence of life struck him. No animals, no dogs, cats, or birds, just people. Not a single animal, he whispered. Lena shrugged, trying to convince herself that they were all kept in barns, but neither of them fully believed it. Elias murmured from the back seat, "Some villages are like this." The village square revealed itself as the heart of Gravenmire. Wide market stalls stood neatly arranged. Large wooden cutting boards, steel knives, and hanging slabs of meat glistened. Despite the cold, the air was heavy with a scent that was simultaneously appetizing and nauseating. The butcher's white aprons were streaked with blood. A woman at one stall lifted a massive cleaver and sliced into a hanging cut, the juices spilling onto the ground. Marcus wanted to film it, but recoiled. Lena whispered, "Where does all this meat come from?" A large, lined-faced butcher noticed them. Lena approached, speaking in English. "Where do the animals come from?" The man grinned, showing his teeth, and in thick accent said, "The mountains give us everything." The words carried a chilling certainty, not explanation. The trio wandered the village throughout the day. The villagers were distant, yet strangely hospitable. Conversations avoided eye contact, and they constantly offered food. Even children didn't laugh, and the church doors remained locked, its bell rusted and silent. Most meals included a massive plate of meat. Lena hesitated at the first bite, while Marcus devoured it eagerly, praising it as the best he had ever tasted. Elias wrote quietly in his notebook, "Unusual texture, distinct taste." That night, Lena couldn't sleep. From her window, she watched the square. Most of the village lay in shadow, but several white-aproned figures worked silently, hanging new cuts of meat on the hooks. For a moment, Lena thought she saw a human arm swinging from a hook. She rubbed her eyes, convinced she had imagined it, yet unease gnawed at her. The next day, more strange details emerged. Children played silently, no laughter, no sounds of joy. The villagers insisted on feeding the strangers, and almost nothing else was available. Even bread was merely a garnish for the meat. Marcus continued praising it, oblivious to the oddity. Lena noticed subtle details. Pallid skin contrasted with unnaturally dark lips, as if they had eaten blood. In the afternoon, Elias wandered alone toward the mountainside. Among the stones, he found a collection of shovels, cleavers, and large wooden barrels. One barrel's lid was slightly ajar. Curiosity drew him closer. Inside, he first struggled to make out shapes in the dim light. Then the horrifying truth became clear. Human-like arms, skinned torsos. He stumbled backward, choking on the realization. A villager had been silently watching. Their eyes met, but the man said nothing, closing the lid. Elias whispered to himself, "I came to the wrong place." Back at the inn, Elias remained silent, withdrawn. Lena noticed, but Marcus brushed it off. That evening, another plate of meat was served. Lena couldn't bring herself to touch it, but Marcus eagerly ate what Elias had refused. At midnight, Lena woke again. This time, the square revealed something horrifying. Villagers unloaded long, black-covered packages from a cart. One slipped open, revealing a severed human arm. A butcher hurriedly wrapped it, glancing around. Lena pressed her face to the window, but the street was empty once more. The following morning, Lena recounted everything to Marcus and Elias. Marcus laughed nervously, dismissing it as a nightmare. Elias remained silent, finally admitting in a quiet, trembling voice, "They don't slaughter animals, they slaughter humans." Marcus panicked. "That's impossible." "I've eaten it. It tasted amazing." Lena clutched her stomach, piecing together the horrifying truth. They too had eaten it, unknowingly. The door knocked. The innkeeper entered, smiling, carrying steaming plates. "Eat," she said, her accented English smooth and unyielding. "Eat while it's warm." Elias trembled as he lifted a fork, catching a glimpse of something that resembled a fingernail in the meat. He dropped it. The woman didn't react. They tried to flee at dawn, rushing to the car. But villagers blocked the bridge. Men, women, and even children silently surrounded them, some carrying cleavers and hooks. The butcher stepped forward, voice echoing on the stone streets. "The mountains give us everything." In panic, they maneuvered through narrow streets. Marcus dropped the camera, which shattered. Elias shouted, "The church!" "Maybe we can hide there." They forced open the heavy doors, finding darkness and the stench of decay. Inside were stacked coffins, most open, filled with stripped bones and flesh. Some faces remained, twisted in silent horror. A heavy door led down stone steps, where the sounds of metal clanging echoed. Lena descended reluctantly to find a massive cold storage. Rows of human bodies hung from hooks, skinned and butchered. Marcus gasped, whispering, We ate this." Elias crouched, covering his face. The rear door slammed. Villagers descended the stairs, carrying hooks and cleavers, eyes vacant, lips stained with blood. The butcher led them forward. Lena screamed as they advanced. Marcus froze. Elias raised his hands, but nothing could stop them. The following Saturday, the Gravenmire market opened as usual. Fresh cuts of meat glistened from the hooks. Villagers smiled, offering plates to new visitors. "Try it," they said. "You won't find better anywhere else."